Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, beautiful souls. My name is Alicia. I am Barney Matahari. I'm back at you today again with another reading. And this reading has been coming through for quite a few weeks. It's my second time recording this reading, so feel free to skip forward to the timestamps if you don't want to listen to the spiel. The subject of this reading is who is practicing opnopono for you. And for you is very central to this reading. And I have been away trying to get this reading out. First of all, I was traveling, and I have a new addition to my family with this beautiful Ganesh that I was drawn to on my travels and came back with. And then after that, I was feeling very, very unwell. And then I recorded the reading, but I wasn't happy with it. So now I'm just going to go with whatever comes out. So bear with me. So we have 3 piles today. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Take a moment, take a deep breath, whatever is your process. And I will be getting started with pile number 1. Hello, hello, pile number 1. This is Alicia. I am Barney Matahari, and welcome to your reading. We are asking today what energies is practicing Ho'oponopono for you. And I'm going to take a moment to ask you to consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing if you enjoy my content and you're wanting to contribute to the growth of the channel. So with that being said, I'm going to pop your pile. I'm going to pop your number 1 over here. And the way I'm going to do this is we're having 3 oracle cards, a nakshatra card and 2 oracle cards. And we're going to look at the energy of your person and kind of what they're working on and how that is central to your connection. So for this pile, we have Ashleisha. So Ashleisha is the clinging star. It's the entwiner. And I'm getting DNA, so it's represented by the coiled serpent. It can be sharp, it can be dreadful, and its deity is the Nagas. And the Nagas are basically serpents, but also similar to a supernatural dragon. And their realm is known for its grandeur. However, it's supposed to be incredibly beautiful, but it's not somewhere where the sun accesses. So that's just another, I guess, characteristic of the Nagas. And the Nagas too had free will, and some Nagas chose to go with the light and some Nagas chose to go with deception. And I'm just going to leave it there because, you know, we could go into a whole tangent, but I don't want to do that. We also have belief as your other oracle card. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. And we've got the purple, which is giving very much crown chakra. And it's interesting because we have the Nagas are very much associated with the underworld. And then I might have to cover her up a little bit. So from the fairy oracle deck, we have got the Lady of the Harvest. So with Ashleisha, what I'm getting as the central is this connection, somebody who is practicing Ho'oponopono for you. And I'm getting for most of you, it's their higher self. I don't think that their avatar, their person, this incarnation has quite got there yet. They're still entwined, let's say. And I'm hearing very strongly parentified for you as well. So this could be a parental figure. It could be a cousin or a sibling, someone who you ended up having to kind of do some heavy lifting, especially on the emotional front, maybe even on the financial front, or maybe even on the just being the adult in the relationship, even though they could be, could have grown up to be they as their adult self, they relied on you more in a parental kind of way. So the dynamic could be quite codependent. Also, I'm getting that it could be a spouse, or a romantic connection where they're just kind of, I want to say, momming you. Kind of maybe imagine that you had a romantic connection. Let's say you're female and you have a romantic connection where if you're in a romantic connection with a guy, for instance, that they're like, oh, you're not the boss of me. And they kind of look at, being in a relationship as kind of, oh, the ball and chain and all this kind of stuff. And they're just buying into some silly narrative that they need to overcome. That, those tropes exist for a reason, because they need to grow and transcend those. And they carry on generationally until somebody actually surrenders to the core of what is driving that within themselves. And then you've got belief as well. So where do they place their believing power? That energy, that faith, that power to believe, where do they place it on? Do they place it on you being someone who needs to give to them, or you being in competition with them, or you trying to dominate them, or if I win, I am the dominant one, therefore yada yada yada. So how are they using that belief energy? And then harvest for me is very much giving, it's in this deck, it's very much associated with grief and the end of a cycle. And if you think about it, in nature, when we come to harvest season, we're at the end of summer, we're at the end of fall, we're harvesting, we're going into winter, and things slow down for that season. Winter comes, and then things are born again anew. So there could be a very toxic or unhealthy cyclical pattern that happened in your relationship, and you, my friend, you were able to look at it as an investment. You were able to look at the energies that you poured into this relationship as an investment, and allow it to organically grow within you and harvest the lessons, harvest the fruits of your labor. They, on the other hand, unfortunately, are more of a lesser, and I don't mean lesser as in like inferior, but kind of more immature attitude, where they haven't managed to overcome those toxic belief patterns, and they're still very entitled. They don't understand the difference between taking and receiving. That receiving is, receiving from self, receiving from spirit, receiving from another who is giving willingly. They're more combative and more competitive, and they're more likely to be in a, perpetually victimhood or dominant. And they kind of seem to, the energy that I'm getting from them is that they kind of still are in that kind of like, well, if I'm not the victim, I'm king of the castle. And if I'm not king of the castle, then somebody else is king of the castle, and I'm therefore inferior to them. They haven't transcended. They haven't surrendered. They have this, I'm getting from them as well, that both of you actually are quite incredibly, you share this, and that might be what drew you to each other. You both have this really beautiful, charming, seductive, charismatic, passionate energy about you. But you have learned to wield that in both in self-service and in selfless service. I'm thinking karma yoga. I'm thinking to give to others, to serve the highest good, and not to approach it as a zero-sum game. Whereas that's what I feel like they're still kind of stuck in that, and more prone to lust, greed, jealousy. So their lesson, both of your lesson actually really in this connection, is to learn about is to learn about surrender. And you've learned how to surrender to truth, to spirit, to your spiritual path, to the pain as well. We have here the power to inflict poisonous venom. And you've really learned how to transmute, how to face your pain. Because if you just shove it down and you suppress it, it's still there. And you can run away from it for like lifetimes and not deal with it. And it will just continue to amass and get into, like, it will calcify into your different, into your body, into your emotions, into your thought processes. And that to me is what generational trauma is those things getting calcified, and those, especially those belief patterns, getting calcified and just handed down through the bloodline. So learning to be able to give in service and not to give to get is something that you're very, very, very good at. So you've really transcended this this codependent dynamic. So you may be gray rocking, you may be no contact, it may be somebody from your past. It may have ended really badly. And if that's the case, this reading was actually very difficult because they took me through a lot of the energies of what you guys were experiencing. So it took a lot out of me, and I ended up being, I think I mentioned it in the intro, I ended up being sick for a week after I recorded this the first time, and was traveling, and all sorts of things were happening. So this person also, I'm getting that they, instead of intimacy, which would be like sharing the laughs, sharing the pains, but reciprocity, they mistake proximity for reciprocity. And you have just transcended that as you have grown in your lifetime, as you have grown through your pain. I'm hearing yeah, it's hitting in the heart really, 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 really hard. You've been through a lot, pile number one. You've been through a lot with this connection, and you've really managed to harvest the wisdom, harvest the lessons, and alchemize the pain. I'm getting that, for some of you, actually I'm just pulling some tarot cards. I've gotten some, I'm getting some downloads as we go, and I'm getting that, this person really was quite harsh with you, like very, almost, I want to say the term that we're using in mainstream and in the community is gaslighting, but I'm not so much a fan of those buzzwords, but I'm getting that they would have this feeding off of your pain, kind of anything on the scale from, when you have a boo-boo, and I mean something, I don't mean like a minor thing, but when something goes wrong for you that like hurts your heart or hits your heart, it goes from anything along the scale of, oh, let mama come rescue you, or I love it when you don't feel good because then you need me. Let's say it's a spouse, love to see you down and out. Or they could respond to your pain by one-upping. And, if you have something, it's like, well, I had something way worse. Or, kind of even lashing out, like, how dare you need me? Or even just pure indifference, like just leave you on red or disappear anytime, you need something that, they're happy to take from you. But then when you need something, they're nowhere to be found. And also, I'm getting that when you've got your wins, that they're just dead in the eyes for you. Like they might have that really fake smile, but they might just be dead in the eyes, and you can almost see that they're seething, like, why is that not for me? Not for all of you, but for some of you for sure. And also some of them will, depending on the nature of it and depending on how jealous, very strong jealousy and envy is coming through here, pile number one, from this person to you, depending how jealous or how much they want to one up you in this case. They might be nonchalant, they might be like too cool for school, they might just be like, oh, whatever, for your wins, your achievements. But yet, when it comes to their wins and achievements, you're expected to kind of show up and, have a great celebration and pour your energy into kind of celebrating them. But they don't return the energy. They don't have it in them to be able to return that for you. And it's not a you thing, it's a them thing. And it's your dynamic thing. Like what makes it really horrible for you, pile number one, is this is somebody that you really cared about and you really poured into, and you probably still care about them. Maybe you are loving them at an arm's length, but they can show up for other people in the way that they would, like, they choke on their words showing up for you, is what I'm getting, which is really, it's a really painful lesson to know that behind closed doors, that's how they really feel. So let's go through your tarot cards. So first of all, we've got this Ace of Pentacles. So you're in a new opportunity now. You're in a new phase of life. You've graduated from this lesson. You're moving on to greater and better things, because you know how to use your believing power. You believe in their ability to change, but you recognize that you cannot do their changing for them. They would like a new beginning with you. They would like to go back to the status quo. They would like to be able to continue to feed off of your emotional pain. I don't know if you're familiar with the term louche, but that's coming up really strongly. And that's, if they can get a rise out of you, positive, negative, they don't care, so long as they get to feed off of it. And that's really horrible. We've got judgment here coming in. So there is judgment upon them, but I'm just really, see how the mirror is broken? They're just not able to look at it because they've treated you so badly. They're not able to look in the mirror. So when they look in the mirror, they see what you did to them, instead of understanding that they have the power to do what you've done, which is take responsibility for your choices, take responsibility for your part in the connection, take responsibility for your energy in life, and decide to transmute or not. I'm getting perpetual victim for them. They see you as the Hierophant. They are like, well, it's okay for you because you've got access to X, Y, and Z. That is available to all of us. You have just, maybe been someone who didn't have access to the same resources. And I was reading something earlier today. It was in Transylvania Sunrise, and he was explaining how, how they say it's easy to do bad and it's hard to do good, because doing good requires sacrifice. Doing good requires, sometimes standing up and telling the truth. And I feel like that they may, because of their extras that they had in life, they might have just, and what is coming to mind is like, and I don't know if this is true for your connection, but it's just an example. You know how a lot of people who had to work really hard and they made it, and then they had their next generation, they're like, well, I never want my kids to have to go through what I did. And then they end up spoiling them, and then their kids just don't have any sense of purpose, and they end up getting in trouble and end up doing kind of things that are not good for them, like partaking in substances that are not good for them and partying, and just don't have that drive to kind of build something for themselves. So I'm getting that kind of as an example. You have put down the burdens. You are, you're very strong, and you've decided to turn the power to carry those burdens back into just a different kind of success. And if you see this is the satellite in outer space. This, you go from the nine of wands to the six of air, which is six of swords. So you're moving away from it, like you're ascending, you're transcending this relationship. And when I say this relationship, I just don't mean your interaction with this specific person. I mean this type of relationship. You're moving away to work with in community towards victory. So we're going from the 9 of wands to the 6 of wands to victory through collaborating with different kinds of people or different kinds of energies, including that is within yourself. You have the ability to wield, we all have the ability to wield our external resources and our internal resources according to beliefs that are in harmony with the divine plan, harvest the wisdom or not. And that's available to all of us. I'm getting, for this connection, I'm getting the Dido song. What is it? White Flag. I know I caused too much mess and destruction to come back again. And I caused nothing but trouble. I understand if you can't talk to me again. And if you live by the rules of it's over, then I'm sure that makes sense. But I won't go down with this ship, and I won't put my hands up and surrender. That is them. They are clinging on for dear life to this connection and hoping for a new beginning, and it's done for you. I'm hearing from your side. You know that song by Delicate by Damien Rice? What does he say? So why do you fill my sorrows with the words you've borrowed from the only place you've ever known? And why do you sing hallelujah if it means nothing to you? Why do you sing with me at all? Like, you've put this to bed, but you really had to grow in yourself in order to learn how to, you were always able to grow in collaboration and in oneness, and you're not the same species anymore. You have, and I don't mean that to be rude to that person, you're just not the same frequency anymore. The frequency that we hold, the frequency that we radiate as we walk through life, it has to do with not only our mentality, our emotionality, our energetics, but also our intentions and our actions. It's all of those things. It's not like you wave a magic wand and you go, oh, right, I've been doing it all wrong, and now I'm just going to be different. Like, you have to it takes effort to build yourself into that person who consistently shows up with the desire to show up as a person who wants to be someone who is not trying to win and trying to take from other people, and who is willing to be in reciprocity with another energy, and who is also willing to harvest the learning even when it hurts. And this one hurt, pile number 1. So I'm going to pull a few. Oh, you've got star children. So you could be a star seed. You could have no veil, psychic, different, cosmic inspiration and light. You probably were always this way and wondering, like, what is going on around me, and why are people, you probably went through a naive stage where you really didn't understand that you know, this person, that people could be like this, that's like what's really in their heart, because you're just not of that frequency. So you could have come in to really show the way, and whether or not this person gets it in their incarnation, their higher self is so grateful. They are practicing Ho'oponopono for you because of everything that you have taught this person in their incarnation. This person might not, divine feminine, this person might not have really ever heard the word no until you were like, thank you, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, and I'm out. I will not be treated by you in this way. It is not to your benefit or to my benefit to allow you to abuse me anymore. And whatever your relationship looks like now, their higher self is really grateful to you and is practicing Ho'oponopono for you, because you have been through so much and you're such a beautiful light. You're such a huge light to this incarnation. You're such a huge light to this family line. Doorways into now, letting go of the warrior. You are letting go of the warrior that you've had to be from coming from this relationship. You're moving into a softer, more playful. We've got divine feminine, and we've got the elephant, and we've got Ganesh. You probably faced a huge amount of obstacles. You've really come into harmony with your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies within yourself, and you're receiving your birthright, unconditional love, and you're able to get that from yourself until it shows up in your external world. Which, if it hasn't happened, take heart. You're done with this kind of relationship. You're moving, you'll spot it from a mile away. It sometimes takes a while to recognize that that's what's happening, but once you do, you're a master at just Ho'oponopono in practice. And you recognize that it's an immaturity, it's a lack of awareness. You recognize that all is divine, and still you recognize that you deserve to be treated with dignity, respect, and love, and you're the first person who can give that to yourself. I am sending you so much love and adoration and admiration. Thank you for being here at this time, pile number one. Your energy is really, really beautiful. The world is so lucky to have energies like you who can put the drama down and who can walk away from this kind of craziness and not amplify it up, and who can show a new way, and who can be a light that is not fight, fight, fight. But you've had to warrior and be strong, and you're just a gift. You're an absolute gift. So I want you to know that. If nobody is telling you that right now, I am telling you, and I am wishing you. It is tomorrow in the United States where I live, Thanksgiving. So I am sending you a very, very happy Thanksgiving wishes from my heart to yours. So take care. Bye, 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 pile. Pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to put your 2 over here so that you can, anyone joining a bit later can see where we're at. So before I get into it, I'm going to ask if you wouldn't mind considering like, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And let's get this show on the road, pile number 2. Okay, so who is practicing Ho'oponopono for you? So I'm going to start with 3 oracle cards and then pull some tarot. So the first card, the nakshatra card, is kind of going to say what your energy is working on, your person's energy who's practicing Ho'oponopono for you, what they're working on, and how that is central to your connection. And then we've got a couple of other oracle cards to go a little bit deeper, and then we'll pull some tarot. So for you, we have got Shravana. Shravana. So Shravana is God. It's the deity is Vishnu, and we're seeing the one who hears and the one who limps. And I was listening to Victor Kara's life lesson on Shravana, and he was saying how the one who limps kind of is, in order to be able to walk the path, he looks into the sutras of what they are, and he was explaining that the sutra kind of means like it can be interpreted in two ways, the one who hears and the one who limps. But he was explaining that in order to be able to walk the path, the one who limps needs to have a goal. And then the one who hears, he's like the God of consciousness. So one must have a worthy goal in order to establish the path. So it kind of has a dualistic meaning, but it's more kind of, to me, a layered meaning in how he was describing it. And then you've got the symbol of the ear and the power to connect with others, the star of learning. And then you've got the feet here as well. So Vishnu is the God, and if you think of Vishnu is the sustainer. He keeps the dance of life, creativity going. You've got the three godheads, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, to represent the different cycles. So Vishnu is the one who is the sustainer. And so having the life lesson that I'm getting, first of all, I'm getting coming through is this is your ancestral line, your bloodline, your soul connections, and it's like somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, they lost sight of the goal, the bar, their why, their what, and their how. So let's go a little bit deeper. We've got communication here. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It's reminding me of that phrase, behavior is a language. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. So I'm hearing the word heartless. So you could have a lineage of some heartlessness, and you could also have a lineage where there were people who just were all heart, and there was they could have gotten taken advantage of quite a bit. And then we've got Ilba, the retriever. And I'm noticing here that this is 14 and 41, so there's mirroring going on here. And 22 is a number of mastery. So the numerology is kind of, the numbers are speaking quite loudly. So I'm also hearing that phrase that curiosity plays the highest form of research. So having highly calibrated questions, because what is research? Research is really having a question that you're seeking the answer to, and having a highly calibrated question, not how do I get mine, how do I serve, how may I serve, and having some level of specificity is grounding that into life, into the earth. So I'm hearing as above, so below, as within, so without. And we've got the mirroring here in these two. Ilba the retriever. Ilba, he shows us kind of things that we've forgotten about. He reminds us, he's kind of playful, but he also might hide, he might hide things. And bring us into some level of frustration, but he might remind us of old goals that we have, old dreams that we've forgotten about, and maybe even old standards that we said we would never cross. Reminding us of like how we kind of said, well, just this one time to, because making excuses. It's sometimes harder to just sacrifice and to do right. And Ilba will help us remind us of that. So I'm getting very much here that your dynamic in this, or your role in this, your entire ancestral line is doing Ho'oponopono for you. And Shravana is a very high, very auspicious nakshatra. And it is also associated with Capricorn, which is the bridge between heaven and earth. And it's the sea goat. It's like your family along the way, somehow, ancestrally, and also soul connections. So maybe people that are not in your bloodline, they lost their way. Maybe they became very materialistic, or maybe they got very beaten down and they became very victim-y. And they forgot the power that they had because they partnered with the wrong energies, or they partnered with the wrong people. I'm getting that, over time, you're a game changer. You're a cycle breaker in this family line. You're learning how you came in to get them back on path, to reestablish the line, to over time with micro movements, by compounding and not only crossing the line. It's like your ancestral line, like shame got in, greed got in, entitlement got in, victimhood got in, lust seeped in, until critical mass, and they just got pulled away from spirituality more to materialism, whatever way that shows up. And you are the heart of the ocean for this family line. You have resurrected the line, you've polished it, you've set it ablaze. You are the light in the storm. You're a beacon of light for the ages for this family line. And you are a spirit guide to this family line, and your ancestors are spirit guides to you. So it's a collaboration. You guys are colleagues. And then we've got that idea of mirroring going on here. And you are putting the I am back into this family line, which is a very powerful, very, very powerful frequency. I'm getting the idea with communication as well, that you don't really think of the frequency of communication. It's an interesting way of putting it. I never really think of communication as being a frequency, but when you think about it, communication is not just, communication is in what we're silent about. It's what we think about. It's what we emote about. It's what we take action on. It's the energetics that are in our aura. It's our intentions. It's in our physical DNA. It's in our body. You're reestablishing communication to the family line to get back in line. I'm here, the law of one, and how to live in accordance with the way. And the way being in harmony with the divine plan, remembering who you are, remembering that we all have connection to this beautiful divine energy, and all is divine. Even when we fall off our path, we're divine, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't effort and try and seek grace from divinity. And it doesn't mean flagellating oneself. It means so much more than that. And it doesn't mean that at all. It just means it's such a big topic. I'm getting the feeling that you've been scapegoated a lot and blamed a lot. And I'm hearing Brené Brown say that blame is the discharge of pain. And I'm getting that I'm feeling the little match girl, the never ending story. We were with him in the bookstore when he stole the book. So your ancestors have been with you all this time, whether you've probably felt them, but maybe you might not have been aware of feeling them. You probably were very connected to them when you were young and before life got in and, you were trained out of being as spiritual as you were. Or maybe you maintained that the whole way. But I'm very much getting that, you were blamed and scapegoated and you were different. So I'm hearing that song from Christina Aguilera, Hurt. I'm sorry for blaming you for everything I just couldn't do. And I've hurt myself by hurting you. Sorry for butchering it, but I'm no Christina Aguilera. My gosh. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. So it's a lot of passed over loved ones who are practicing this Ho'oponopono for you. Many of your bloodline this lifetime have not been able. Your light's so bright that you're like a counterbalance to the abject darkness that has gotten into your family, and it's you against many. Think of how bright you have to be to guide a family line. Like, that's you, pile number 2. You're just this beautiful, beautiful, bright blaze of glory, and not glory to self, but glory to divinity, glory to everything that is divine. You recognize like the divinity in yourself and the divinity in others. You recognize that they are just lost, and you recognize that you can't do their work for them. I'm also hearing the song by Katie Melua. If you've been on this channel for any length of time, you'll know that I absolutely am obsessed with her. Katie Melua, your ancestors are just with you all the time, but your energy has that for your family, for this line, for not only your bloodline. I can't stress this enough, not only for your bloodline, but all of your soul connections. So you go through different communities in life and you connect with soul connections, and you might feel it on some level and they might feel it on some level, but you are a light for them also. I'm getting for you also. Pile number 2. You've had a lot of, the heart. Oh my gosh. You've had a lot of soul contracts that have been unfulfilled. You have fulfilled yours. You model freedom, you model integrity, and you model truth. And you live the way. You model joy. You find joy in... You find joy in the places, joy and beauty in the places where you can, because you do, because that's who you are. Not joy, the brand. I'm getting a lot of music for you. I'm also, do you know that song by Sara, Bareilles, Once Upon Another Time? Once upon another time, before I know which life was mine, before I left the child behind me. I'm going to pull some tarot cards for you now, pile number 2. 3 of Wands. You're climbing up out of this. The Magician, you are magical and beautiful. King of Swords, you've got your discernment on now. The High Priestess, oh my gosh. The Sun, oh my gosh, pile number 2. The Hierophant, woo! You have got some serious energy. And the King of Wands. So you have got 2 cards of mastery. You have got 4 major arcana and 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is about, looking out at waiting for their ships to come in. And you are that for these souls by really going on your I'm hearing that sign. Are you going to go my way? I think it's Lenny Kravitz. And You Can Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. So maybe music is very important to you. Maybe you're a musician. Maybe music is very important in your family. Maybe you get a lot of downloads from music. But the way, you are a leading light. You are a lighthouse. You are a North Star. You are very, very, just by being you, just by showing up the way that you do, and, you know, transmuting your pain, communicating the way you do, in your thoughts, emotions, intentions, and how you, I'm hearing the body as a temple, how you treat your body, how you take care, how you nurture yourself, and take care of your own health. So you might come from a family that is not great at taking care of their health also. So there's definitely an influence on that. You also might be really drawn to things like Ayurveda and plant medicine and stuff like that. Maybe you don't subscribe to putting chemicals on your body. You prefer to make them naturally, or you prefer to source them naturally, that kind of thing. But who is practicing Ho'oponopono for you is the higher selves of all of these people that you have interacted with. But not only that, also the people who are now becoming awakened. You know, they might be well in your wake, as you've moved through life. And also your ancestors on the other side. They are with you. They practice Ho'oponopono for you all of the time. They are so grateful for the work that you are doing on this planet at this time and everywhere else. You know what I'm talking about? Other dimensions, other densities, what you be doing. You're the whole kit and caboodle. And who you have remained in the face of all you have been put through is just a testament to your purity and how much you are. I'm surprised the star didn't come out, because you are a North Star. You're a North Star to us all. I'm hearing that Madilyn Bailey song. Why do they hate her? She's such an angel. So you've probably got a lot of people coming at you, trying to test you to see, you know, is she for real? Is he for real? We've got essences and energies. Look, we've got the whales and the dolphins. You're incredibly intuitive. You've got the high priestess out here, but you're also dolphins are keepers of the sacred breath. You have an ability to maintain a joyful. I'm not going to say that you're walking around the place jumping for joy every moment, especially when people are coming at you in all sorts of directions, but you're able to find moments of joy through this and not become jaded. You probably do process a lot of deep emotions and a lot of darkness that people have thrown at you. So I wouldn't be surprised if you suffer from, you know, bouts of depression, or, you know, to process all that stuff means to face it, and to face it, it hurts. The pain. I'm hearing the pain. I'm seeing Paul Atreides when he puts his hand in the box, and it's like our test is one of crisis, and he says, I see the truth of it, and he's feeling so much physical pain. And then I'm hearing Marion Cotillard, pain is in the mind in Inception. So people have really tried to mess with your mind, but you have been able to really attune to subtle energies and come back to balance and be this beautiful frequency holder that this planet, family of light, your family of light is with you. 11, science, guidance, innate and ancient wisdom. The earth, Mother Gaia herself is doing Ho'oponopono for you, pile number 2. The ability that you have to be able to come back to this beautiful, pure, delicious energy, and also be discerning and not take, stand on business, and also to recreate, like we've got the phoenix here, to rebirth after you've been thrown to the wolves. I'm getting over and over and over and over and over again. I am sending you so much love and gratitude, pile number 2. Thank you for incarnating. Thank you for being a light to all of us in this at this time, because it's many times are rough on this planet, and it's not an easy gig, especially when this is the weight that you're bearing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you have an amazing, amazing, amazing rest of your day, week, month. Take care. Pile number 2. Sending you lots of love. Pile number 3. I'm going to put your 3 over here. So pile number 3, thank you for being here. I'm going to just put a shout out if you wouldn't mind considering like, commenting, sharing, and or subscribing to my channel. I would love that. It would mean the world to me. And I will be over the moon. So the way I'm going to do this, who is practicing Ho'oponopono for you, this reading, we're going to look at your oracle cards first, and that will kind of give us a sense of what the energy is that's central to your dynamic and what is being worked on in the connection at this time, that kind of thing. And then we'll move into some tarot cards. So for you, pile number 3, who is practicing Ho'oponopono for you, we have got Uttara Bhadrapada. So this is the last nakshatra, as far as I know, in the 27 nakshatras. And it is the power to bring cosmic rain. It is the sea serpent, the happy ladder feet. So it's paired with the other Bhadrapada, which is escaping, Purva Bhadrapada, sorry. It was escaping me for a moment. And the deity associated with this is Ahi Budnya, water serpent, is the symbol of this. Okay, so you've got universal love. Oh, beautiful. 44. Oh, I'm Bareilles Madahari, 44. So 44 is an important number for me. So the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole existence itself. And then we've got She of the Crook, card number 5. Beautiful. So what I'm getting for you, who is practicing Ho'oponopono for you, pile number 3, is you are. And what I mean by that is your cumulative past ego collective is the way I want to put it, the way it's coming through. You, right now, as you're watching this reading, you are the love, the light, the wisdom, and you have harvested the fruits of their experiences, decisions, their past service, their emotions, their ego deaths. Oh, so beautiful. I love this. I absolutely love this, pile number 3. So what you're kind of working on, or what is central to this Ho'oponopono, is oneness in a dualistic world. Just really transcending that wisdom and embodying it and being submerged in it, and then coming up to surface and going through the cycles, as above, so below, really balancing, harmonizing duality, like the spiritual and the worldly, the masculine and the feminine, as above, so below, as within, so without. And then I'm hearing very strongly for the water serpent for this reading specifically, and this is giving very liquid light, I want to say. Water remembers. And with this, it's about sacrifice. It's the power to bring cosmic rain, but it's really about, I was listening to Victor Cara life lessons as I was preparing for this reading. And he was talking about for this specifically, it's like after the burning is done, then you're remaining with the essence, and then you soak the essence. And I really loved that. So water remembers. So adding this element of remembrance to your essence is kind of what is the cosmic rain that you are bringing upon yourself, and that you are walking out into the world with. You're just this. Oh, honestly, I feel so in your energy. I just feel so, my heart just feels wide open, but not in a naive way, but just in a cosmic love kind of way. Just I'm getting a real robust, strong feeling from you also. And then we've got She of the Cruach, which is 5. And then we've got Universal Love, which is 44. And I'm noticing that the 44 and 5 is 7. And 7 squared is 49. So I'm getting what do you call that? I forget it, but a multiplication, like a squaring energy, rather than kind of like you've learned how to, alchemy, you've learned how to really amplify this beautiful knowingness into your existence, and take that how it resonates for you, what that means. She of the Cruach is kind of like there's one that comes before it in the Fairy Oracle deck, and it really represents the fire sword. And then this is representative of the chalice, which goes really, really nicely with Uttara Bhadrapada and the water serpent. So the chalice, and that's also reminding me of, in the Essene story, or even in the Holy Grail is often said to be, associated with Jesus and Mary Magdalene and their lineage. So it's reminding me of that. I'm not telling you to believe that. I'm just saying that that's coming through in the reading. So I'm just going to read it. She is associated with fertility as well. And then over here to Universal Love, very much activations. I'm getting that you could be a starseed. I'm getting that the sun as well, which is masculine energy, divine feminine, divine masculine. We talked about duality. So you've got the divine feminine, divine masculine here. And we've also got I'm hearing universe, one song, universal love. And don't forget that the sun is actually a star as well. I'm also hearing for you Bhagavad Gita, which means the song of God. And, of course, Arjuna and Krishna in the chariot, that's very much divine masculine energy. That's very much the warrior, like fulfilling one's dharma, being called to stand up and fight in the name of being a warrior versus being a soldier, for example. I'm hearing also you were learning on what the truth of abundance is, purity. I'm getting Lakshmi and Ganesh for you very strongly as well. I'm also having, I'm hearing that quote from Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, have faith in God, but don't hug tigers. So I feel like you've dealt with a lot in your life where you've had to, I'm hearing I had to trust them. I was a child. So I'm getting that you could have dealt with things like PTSD, maybe eating disorders, fawning, depression. But you've really learned what true abundance is. You've learned how to purify your energy and how to not carry these impurities. So we're back to, burn the excess and then soak the essence. So you've got to that stage where you've burned off the impurities, you've burned off your karma. I'm hearing like the true abundance, 72,000 nadis and the 144,000. You've learned that very, very strongly. So I feel like you're coming out of your, let's say, your kind of Kali phase. You've had Saraswati with you all the time, but you're coming out of your Kali phase and going into a Lakshmi phase. Again, abundance and play is coming through very strong with Ganesh. I'm hearing that song from Christina Aguilera, Fighter. After all the stealing and cheating, you probably think that I hold resentment for you, but you're wrong. Because if it wasn't for all that you tried to do, I wouldn't know just how capable I am to pull through. So I want to say thank you. You have learned what true value is. You have, and I'm getting for you, stealing valor, stealing energy, stealing your time, stealing your good name. They were cheating. They were playing a loaded game. They weren't sharing. They weren't coming in good faith to play with you. And I'm getting this in all of your areas of life. Like you're really this is the last nakshatra of the deck. So you're really, really reflective of an end of I don't want to say a karmic cycle. I feel like you could be, I'm getting like you could be my Kuan Yin Bodhisattva pile. Like you could be a Bodhisattva who's just coming to the realization of, oh, I incarnated on planet Earth. I'm not blowing smoke, I promise. Incarnated in planet Earth at this time to navigate whatever. And you're still in a human body with a human mind and human emotions, thoughts, human limitations is what I want to say. But you're able to tap into that energy much more easily now that you've burnt off a lot of the... You may have even been karmaless. You may have just incurred the karmas that you incurred this lifetime. But you've always shown up in good faith. Even when you made mistakes, because you're, as a human being incarnate under the veil, we're all making mistakes. That's part of it. And if you think about Kuan Yin as well, Kuan Yin went from male warrior to female bodhisattva, and Kuan Yin is very much associated with Mother Mary as well. So that's kind of interesting. I'm getting very strongly for you the Essenes, Yeshua. All the temptations that have been put for you, you've been able to transcend them. You didn't be who you remained in the process, not surrendering to peer pressure, not surrendering to, well, I'm going to do that so that I won't be alone. Like you chose to be alone when you had to in order to stay true to who you are. I'm getting you've been around a lot of energies, like not becoming one of them, like maybe going from mean girl to mommy dearest, this kind of you can't sit with us energy. I'm also hearing that song by Princess Nokia, how you want what I have, you ain't working yourself, that toxic energy shiz ain't really good for your health. I think you need better goals, because oh my god, you seem lost. You talk shiz about my music, but what the fuzz have you dropped? It's by Princess Nokia, that song. And the Essenes, like I really am getting this like Bodhisattva, Essene, Yeshua, Christ consciousness energy shining through really brightly for you. And if you think about the Essenes, like they prepared for like the community, they prepared for his birth. They trained him, they protected him, they prepared his maternal line for his birth as well. So it wasn't like he just showed up in, in some random corrupted family line, which I'm getting that you did. pile number 3. I think piles number 2 and pile number 1 are probably pile number 2 and pile number 1 are probably stages of the journey that you've been through, and you could have been through both this lifetime, or maybe other lifetimes, but I'm getting a lot of lifetimes this incarnation for you. Pile number 3. Amazing. You are a powerhouse, pile number 3. So let's pull some tarot. The Empress first out. Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. 4 of Cups. 10 of Wands. The Moon. The Star. Oh my goodness. And the 3 of Pentacles. Wow. Pile number 3. You've got 3 major arcana. You've got the Empress, the Moon, and the Star. I'm feeling such incredible divine feminine energy emanating from your pile. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, your sovereign, your and the Queen of Pentacles with the Empress. Like, you've got a beautiful healing ability, and you're very healing to other people, and yet you're also very fertile, and we have fertility reflected over here as well. Things grow around you, for sure. You're very collaborative, 3 of Pentacles. You work well with other people. And with the 4 of Cups, I'm kind of getting that it's not that you were... sometimes there's a kind of an apathy or a boredom, but I'm getting like just a gentle complacency, the sitting under a tree, the like you do receive Spirit's cup, but I feel like others didn't receive Spirit's cup, and you were Spirit's cup for others, but instead they treated you like, I'm hearing that phrase, God has sent thee for a pack animal. It's from a Garrison Keillor story called Alaska. They wanted you to carry their burdens for them. And you navigated by your intuition. And you, instead of... I'm sure you went through stages where, you know, we talked about, you had a lot of that, you know, mean girl to mommy dearest, like people kind of really working hard to get up close and personal to you, and then just kind of being mean to you, or kind of working really hard to be in your energy, and then just so that they could say no. I'm hearing a lot of people just want to say no to you so that they can feel powerful, and that they can feel that they have one up on you, or that they can feel that they have something better than you. And if you think about the Essenes, again, we've got a lot of no room at the inn. This was the mother of you know, Yeshua. This was a very highly trained, highly beautiful energy in her, but she still had doors slammed in her face, and she was still, I mean, she was a pregnant lady. You have seen a lot of the darkness in humanity, and you're such a bright light. Rainbow child. Your light was just, we had this in pile number 2 as well, where your light is so bright to be, like the universe is always in balance. You were counterbalanced to such darkness. And you just, the more brightly you and look, he's got a crown of crystals. The Lemurian shaman, the more brightly you shone, for some people, they just literally couldn't take it and they wanted to take you down. Unstoppable, new earth builder, multi-talented, miraculous alchemy. We've got the colors of the rainbow. This is you, pile number 3. Wow. Shadow dissolving in gaze of truth, going beyond fear and initiation. You have been through so much. And still, you're just this delight. Synchronicity. Opportunities in divine timing, open to change, divine outcomes. So I don't know what your 3D life is like, but Kuan Yin's story might be really interesting to you. She overcame so much harshness in her immediate loved ones threw at her, but still the point of it was as Bodhisattva she was able to transcend that because she was aligned with her purpose, and she knew what her purpose was to be this beacon of compassion and opnopono for those that she served, for the divine, for humanity itself. And she made a choice. And 44 is also the number of equanimity. In the Kuan Yin divinity, it's the in the divinity, her poems, poem number 44, as far as I know, is about equanimity. I must get her poems, actually, because I love her so much. And I have invoked her energy so frequently to really help myself forgive what my ego would tell me was unforgivable at that time. And I've had such beautiful connection with Kuan Yin that I'm sure that if you don't resonate with Kuan Yin, you probably resonate with some deity or some energy that is on a similar frequency to her. Anyway, your energy is stunningly beautiful. Thank you for incarnating at this time. I love you very much. I am sending you lots of love, light, and warmth from my heart to yours if you choose to accept it. And I hope you will consider commenting, sharing, or subscribing to my channel if you like the content that you're seeing here. Take care, pile number 3. I love you very much. Bye.